Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'd like to show you how I made this festive looking Santa Claus Christmas decoration just out of some scrap wood. So for this project I'm using a scrap piece of pine, and I'm roughly working out how high I want the Santa Claus shape to be. So I've got the ruler there and I'm making a central mark with a pencil, and then using the combination square I can just double check that mark. It's quite important to get this shape just right, so I'm making a bit of an effort here to get this shape right. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to use a screw at the top, and I can lean the ruler against that, and you'll see that in a moment. At the bottom I'm using a clamp, and that's just to hold the ruler in place. So I've got this sort of flexible metal ruler. I can push it up against the screw at the top and the clamp at the bottom, and that gives me that nice curve. And I can do the same on the other side. If you'd like to know all the dimensions for this project, I'll leave the details down in the description box below. So then I could remove the screw and just redefine the lines that I'd made with the pencil. So for the nose I'm going to use an old wooden doorknob, so I'm just roughly working out where I want the nose to go, and then I can make a mark to drill a hole, and that will accommodate a small bolt to hold the nose on. So just using the ruler to find a central point, then I can drill a hole, and later on I'll add the nose. So for the base I just had this scrap of hardwood. It was already roughly the shape and size I wanted, so I didn't bother to shrink it down. It was just about right. So now I'm just making some marks, some central marks, and that's for 2 pilot holes, so that later on I can add 2 screws to connect the Santa to the base. So once I know the size of the bottom of the Santa, I'm just going 2 centimeters inwards on either side for the pilot holes. Now to cut out the shape. For that I'm using the jigsaw, just taking my time to make sure I get a nice smooth cutout. So once I've cut the shape out, I went over it with the router, and I've got a round over bit, and I'm rounding over all the edges to make it nice and smooth. And I did the same with the base too. So then I gave everything a sanding down with an 80 grit paper. and finished it off by hand. So now I want to draw on the face of the Santa. So to help me with that, I've got an old plastic lid from a plastic jar, and that helps me to get the curve. So there's a curve at the top for his hat, and then a curve at the bottom for where his beard's going to start. And you can see the nose is on the line at the bottom. So his nose will just peek out from his beard. So I'm adding on the nose now, and I've added a bit of glue just to make it nice and secure. And I'm putting the bolt in from the back. And I slightly countersunk the bolt at the back too. Now I added the eyes. I just got them roughly level with the sides of the nose and roughly kind of central. Just working this out kind of by eye. I want to drill some holes now for the eyes, because later I'm going to add some small dowels in here so that the eyes pop out a bit, just to give it a bit more dimension. So I've got a bit of tape on the bit there to stop me going too deep. For the base, I'm going to add 4 little feet on there just to raise it up off whatever surface it's going onto. So I'm using the combination square just to get consistent markings there with the awl. And then I just screwed these little feet directly onto the base. I want to add some texture to the base so that it looks like snow. So I've got some grit and some PVA glue, and I'm just going to mix it all together and then just paint it on. And that will make it look a bit like snow, make it look a bit lumpy and textury. Now I need to start painting Santa, so I'm just first of all going to give it a quick watered down wash of white paint just as an undercoat. That will just help everything to go on more easily later on. And the same for the base, just a quick wash of white. All the paint I'm using here is water based. Once that was dry on the base, I added another layer of normal consistency white paint. And when that was dry, I added another coat of glitter glue. So now I needed to draw the beard. Again, I've got a bendy metal ruler, and I'm doing this roughly by eye, just trying to match the curve of his hat kind of to the curve of the beard, and that worked out quite well, just doing that by eye. Now I want to paint his face and nose, so I've got some red and white, and I'm just mixing up some of that to make a nice light pink for the face. And the pink for the nose too. Now I can add the 2 dowels in. So I've cut a dowel in half here. Just got a nice small bit, and adding plenty of wood glue to keep it fixed. And I could just knock those in with a hammer. Now I could start painting the beard with some white paint. Trying to layer the paint on quite thick here to give it the beard a bit of a textured look. Then I could start on the hat with some red paint. And to finish off the hat, I used some red glitter glue. Now for the coat, the same again, red paint finished off with red glitter glue. So then I could add some black paint to the eyes. And that was the Santa finished. Now I just need to add it to the base. So I'm just going to offer it up and use an awl to make 2 marks to drill some pilot holes. And I'm going to use 2 fairly long screws, self-tapping screws here, to attach it. And that was the Santa all finished.
Okay, so that is about it for this video. I was pretty pleased with how it turned out. Considering it is just a bit of scrap wood and some paint, I think it looks rather festive, and I'll be using this in my home this Christmas. So if you did find this video useful, please remember to like and also consider subscribing for more DIY related videos. Merry Christmas, and as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.